Global estimates for the commercial fitness equipment market project an expansion to $20.9 billion this year, driven by institutional investments. This split-screen chart compares that massive equipment investment against 2026 data. On the left, we see the record peak of 81 million active gym-goers in 2025. On the right, reality sets in. New memberships dropped 9%, and churn rose 8%. This contraction is highly targeted, systematically draining a very specific tier of the fitness business. At the exact same time domestic standard clubs are losing members, specific international operators are executing aggressive, multi-site global expansions. Consumers are drastically reevaluating the physical spaces they choose for exercise. The industry is experiencing a severe course correction. Standard operational models that drove reliable revenue in 2024 are now obsolete. This graph plots pricing tiers across the bottom axis against actual EBITDA margins on the vertical axis, illustrating a clear K-shaped economic distribution. The upper arm belongs to the premium boutique sector, locking in profitable margins averaging 23%. Brands like Vaura Pilates are capitalizing on this affluent demographic, recently crossing a double-digit expansion milestone with high-profile international launches. The lower arm represents high-volume, low-price chains. They use massive scale to maintain profitability while capping monthly dues. Meanwhile, the center of the graph is collapsing. Mid-market clubs with average pricing and generic amenities are becoming a dead zone. Consumers facing tighter budgets are refusing to pay increased rates for simple access to basic equipment. Planet Fitness leadership recently noted they alienated their core audience of casual exercisers by pivoting too heavily toward performance-minded gym-goers, forcing a complete review of their pricing strategy. Mid-market operators are trapping themselves. They alienate cost-conscious users with price hikes while failing to provide the measurable outcomes that premium members demand. Migration toward the two extremes of the K-shape is driven by shifts in consumer psychology. The traditional marketing focus on building a summer body is losing traction. Recent polling of over 10,000 consumers shows a 29% spike in members who view workouts primarily as a tool for mental well-being and emotional resilience. The cultural dominance of metabolic weight loss medications accelerates this shift. Clinical data reveals an uncomfortable reality for gym operators. Data shows individuals starting GLP-1 therapies frequently show a noticeable decline in spontaneous daily movement and baseline physical activity. Trainers and clubs must stop selling pure calorie deficits. The operational mandate is now muscle preservation and functional strength to prevent patients from losing vital skeletal tissue. This requires physically reallocating gym square footage. Rows of traditional cardio machines are being removed. In their place, manufacturers report record-breaking demand for functional training zones, free weights, and power racks. Alongside strength training, 88% of current members are actively demanding holistic schedule integrations like yoga, breathwork, and meditation. Wearable technology tracking heart rate variability and blood oxygen is driving these users directly toward localized recovery tools like cold plunges and infrared saunas. Floor space dedicated entirely to aesthetic-focused cardio is now wasted real estate compared to high-yield strength and recovery zones. The second major factor collapsing the mid-market is a structural crisis in member retention. This dual-axis chart compares member engagement against retention duration. The baseline shows gym floor-only members are 56% more likely to cancel. By contrast, members engaged in community-driven group classes stay an average of 39% longer and visit their clubs 65% more often. The barrier to entry for this engagement is high. Half of all prospective members state they feel completely intimidated by the weight section. Bridging that intimidation gap requires highly competent staff, exposing a massive readiness gap in the labor pool. Major chains currently have thousands of unfillable vacancies. They are starving for business-ready trainers who possess behavioral intelligence and client-facing business acumen, not just technical credentials. Failing to build community-driven retention is now an existential threat, largely due to strict new consumer protection frameworks. New York City recently codified a strict click-to-cancel rule, mandating that recurring gym contracts must be as easy to terminate as to sign up for. Outdated member management software and weak data privacy protocols risk drawing massive regulatory penalties under these new rules. Because click-to-cancel laws eliminate the friction of leaving a gym, retention relies entirely on product quality and social integration. Surviving the 2026 K-shaped economy requires operators to commit aggressively to either the premium or high-volume extreme. Premium operators must integrate deep community programming, install high-touch clinical recovery tech, and hire specifically for behavioral intelligence. High-volume, low-price models require flawless digital app integrations, low-friction entry, and localized market density. International teams like Zipstop are executing this exact high-density playbook, launching multi-site cluster developments across Texas to box out domestic competitors. For existing operators, the immediate first step is auditing member management software to guarantee compliance with incoming data privacy and payment regulations. The second step is adapting marketing strategies and floor plans to cater directly to GLP-1 patients who need muscle preservation. Offering a room full of treadmills at an average price point is a guaranteed path to churn. The era of selling passive access is over. The industry belongs to those selling measurable longevity, frictionless technology, and deep social integration.